Hey there, do you have a 1980s RV with a clapped out 454 and you've been thinking about replacing it with a Cummins 5.9 liter 12 valve diesel? Well, if you have, and so have I, stick around. Let's see what happens. Hey there, welcome to my first video of a long series of videos all related to a Cummins swap into a P30 chassis RV with a 454. Obviously this is for a very specific audience. Not everyone is swapping a Cummins into an RV, but this is going to progress. I'm going to be posting these videos as they progress. I'm going to do two very quick videos right off the bat. This first one that I'm doing is going to be a general overview of what I have as far as the RV goes and what I have as far as the bus goes, and just give you a quick overall overview of what I plan on doing. And I'll just give you some brief images and a couple short videos of the RV and the bus. Alright, here we are in the frozen tundra of Wisconsin. And this is just going to be an overview of the RV. So what we got here is a 1985, I believe, Honey RV, 29 feet long. Yeah, just as you'd expect. Everything is what you'd expect from a 1985 RV, I guess. But it's not bad. Chassis in great shape. Let's take a look at the inside. Oh, sorry. But it's ghetto fabulous. I mean, overall, it's not in bad shape. A little bit messy, of course. But the refrigerator works, stove works, everything. Got the master suite here, really nice, with your own personal crapper right in your master suite. Anywho, I don't want to bore you with the details. Let's take a look at that. All right, here we got the Chevrolet 454. Pretty typical with a P30 chassis. These P30 chassis are pretty common. Bread trucks, delivery trucks, what have you. I believe this one might actually be designated a P35. But we'll get into the details in my next video. But hopefully that Cummins will fit in here. I don't see why it wouldn't, because that Cummins is probably narrower overall compared to the 454. And it might be just a tad longer, but I have plenty of room to move it forward if I have to. Plus the accessory drive on these 454s take up so much room. I mean, they stick out so much further of the front than a Cummins, because a Cummins is basically gear driven. All the accessories are gear driven. Yeah, going to be interesting. Will it fit? We're going to find out. Okay. So here we have the donor. It's a 1993 Bluebird TC1000. I'm sorry, TC2000. It was decommissioned. It was supposed to be decommissioned in the spring, but they decommissioned it a little bit early because the transmission is not working like it should. It's an Allison AT545. I'm not shifting. I'm thinking the pump might be shot, but it's everything you imagine a bus would be. Yeah. Whoop-de-doo. Nothing special. But this is what I'm interested in. Alright, what's behind that cover? So let's take a look. So there it is. 1993 Cummins 5.9 12 valve. And interesting enough, it does have a P pump, and I wasn't expecting that. Obviously, this is an industrial Cummins, not like a Dodge truck Cummins, and I believe the P pump was first introduced to the Dodge pickups in '94. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that there's a P pump in here. So that's an absolute score. You know, not that I'm going to be jacking up the horsepower or nothing a whole lot. I will be messing with it a little bit, but yeah, has everything I need, and it drives fine except for the transmission, of course. You know, it's intercooled. So yeah, I'm going to use all that. Radiator, intercooler, engine mounts, everything. Obviously got to be fabricated, but nonetheless, it runs great. Relatively low miles, 100 and maybe 135,000 miles. So there's plenty of life left in this. All right. So now that you're familiar with what I'm working with here, I'll just give you a really brief history of how this even started. But I got the RV from a coworker at where I work, and he gave it to me. He had used it for years. He had traveled with his with his wife and kids in it. And for the last 5-6 years, maybe even more, it's been sitting in his yard. So he was always suggesting to me that, you know, he would say that hey, I have this RV I want to give you, and I just thought he was joking around. But this past year, he had said it again, and it's like, all right, are you serious? You know, you really want to give this away? Why wouldn't you sell it? And he just didn't want to sell it. He wanted to give it to someone and see someone who would appreciate it. And so my wife and I went and picked it up. Or first we got it running. And obviously the story progresses and snowballs out of control, obviously. But we went to his house and we started it. Ran like absolute crap. I did some quick things to it, spark plugs, distributor, cap and rotor, new plug wires, and it still ran like crap. But once it got to operating temperature, it was better, but obviously you could tell that it was missing and it was low on power. But when I finally got it home, I did get it home, and I did some quick diagnostics on the engine. I did a compression test, and I probably could have went further with the leak down, but it just didn't happen. The compression test revealed 2 cylinders that were low on compression. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's rings. I don't know if it's valves. I have no idea. So we were at the point where, we sat with it on the street, and we thought, what do we do now? And anyone who knows me, probably would figure out that I'm going to do something with it. I think 90% of the population would have scrapped it. Maybe 9% would have rebuilt the engine, and then there's that 1% like me who thought, well, it seems logical to swap in a Cummins. So it kind of snowballed out of control quickly. We fought with that for a while, with what should we do with it, until one day I was scrolling through marketplace listings, and I saw a listing for a bus from a local busing company, actually in Green Bay, and there was this bus. I originally went to look at engines that were stripped out of the bus, and they really didn't appeal to me because there was parts missing off of them. I don't know if the engine was complete. I'm not totally familiar with these engines, but they weren't incomplete, and he told me that they're going to be decommissioning like that bus over there in spring. He said it has a 12 valve Cummins. I was totally interested, and went and looked at it, and just decided, this is the way to go. Got the engine, radiator, intercooler, everything I need, and I was planning on using the transmission. It's an Allison AT545, as I explained before. The research revealed that that's not an ideal transmission for an over-the-road type vehicle. This bus is more intended to be, in the city. Not much highway use. So it was decommissioned early. So about a month ago, he gave me a call and said that they're decommissioning it. Something wrong with the transmission. It really doesn't matter, because I had ran to Detroit about a month and a half ago and picked up a 6-speed Allison. And again, the next video will cover all the details, very specific details of what I got, along with addressing all the other subsystems, brakes, cooling, transmission cooling, the rear end, and just things I've discovered on the internet. I've been spending the last 3-4 months researching this whole thing, because obviously you can't buy a kit and swap in a Cummins. It's not just your ordinary Cummins either. Not like it's out of a Dodge truck. These are considered, I guess, an industrial type of engine. Same architecture, same engine. It's just that they mount them different, and that's all stuff that's unknown to me. And through my research on the internet, I just thought it would be a way more common thing. A Chevy P30 chassis is very common. They're in bread trucks and delivery trucks, and obviously RVs, which I think is classified as a P35, one of those little tidbits I found out. It might be just a little bit stiffer than what is in a delivery van or a bread truck. But I'm getting derailed here. Anyways, I thought it would be way more common to see people swapping in Cummins into these chassis. I've only seen 2 somewhat documented swaps of this nature, and those were, I believe, both in, is it the Travel Lodge RV, which is a Dodge base RV, older, not 80s, but much older. But I think they had a simpler time. I'm not going to say it's simple, not simpler. It can't be simple, but it was a little bit easier than into a P30. But I have not personally seen any Cummins swapped into a P30 chassis. And like I said, I just thought would be a little bit more common. So that's what kind of prompted me to start. I'm going to document it. I'm going to videotape my stuff, so you can learn what I've learned and find out what I'm going to find out, because there's things that I can't even dream of what I'm going to run into. I've covered most of my bases, like I said, with research for the brakes and all those things. And like I said, I'm going to cover that in the next video in detail. And it'll kind of explain what my thought process was, what I've read, what I found out, and it's a lot. So, like I had said way earlier, these videos are going to be brief, not a lot of fluff, low production value. This is my first attempt into doing any kind of videos or instructional videos, and by no means am I a professional, because I don't think anyone wants to see this. But regardless, there's a lot to come. The first two videos will be relatively in rapid succession. I want to release that second one with the gory detail. And even if someone can get any information out of that, which is valuable, and that'd be great. But I just want to share my videos. And there'll be large gaps between these videos. I'm going to be doing this on the weekends, whenever I have a spare minute. I do have a full-time job, so it's going to be a busy summer. So stick around. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two. Thanks for watching.